convincing, I'm going to record the meeting so that what they need to do. All right?
Okay.
Are you guys still there, or did you walk away from your computers? All right, Jazil's still with us. Jazil, did you come and get your bag yet?
I grabbed it.
Okay, you should have these two articles in your bag. Looks like this. Okay, you guys are gonna need those. I'm gonna go out in the hallway, so I'm gonna turn my camera off for a second.
Do we need this?
Esa, pero te dijo otra. Déjame verlo buscar. Ahorita.
Yes, Jazil, you need that.
Okay.
Creo.
And this one too?
Yes. You need both of them, Jazil.
So you need must have and the pros and cons of school uniform?
Yep, you need both of those. Okay, so let me take attendance really fast here. You can go into this bedroom if you'd like. Hold on, you guys, I gotta take attendance. So it looks like the only two people that are here are Jazil and Nathan. Perfect. Okay. So what we're going to do today, you guys, I need you to turn your cameras on. Thank you, Nathan. Jazil, I need you to turn your camera on. I'm not going to go until your camera's on, which means that you're going to have more work you have to do on your own. Thank you. Okay. We're going to start a writing assignment on opinion writing. And the reason that we're doing this is because there is going to come a time in your life when you're going to have to write not just informational writing, but things that express your opinion. Does anyone know what an opinion is? What's an opinion? Yes, Nathan?
Something that you personally think.
Right, it's how you feel about something, right? So I could say something like, in my opinion, the best flavor of ice cream is strawberry. But that's just my opinion, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be doing with this. So on this first sheet, it gives you some stuff that helps you with writing. So when we write our opinion piece, we are going to be doing it like ice writing. So it'll be 4 paragraphs long. Our first paragraph is our intro paragraph. Oh, Jazil, I'm so glad that you found that in your bag, but can you set it aside while we're doing this? Thank you. So our first paragraph is our introduction paragraph. Then we'll write 2 ice paragraphs, and then we'll write a conclusion. So this first sheet is just giving us some information about our writing. So our introduction paragraph introduces the topic. It tells the audience what you are writing about. It explains both sides, and it states your opinion. So I'm going to write in the chat box what my paragraph would look like if I was writing a paragraph about ice cream flavors, okay? I would start by saying there are many different flavors of ice cream in the world. And then if you look right here, opinion starters. These are ways that you can start the sentence when you're stating your opinion. So I'm going to say, I prefer strawberry ice cream. And then you got to state both a pro and a con, both sides. Some people find that strawberry ice cream is boring, right? Because it's just one flavor, it's just strawberry. Others may find its natural flavors refreshing. I think that strawberry, oh, I already said that. Okay, so this would be like my introductory paragraph. You guys can see it in the chat box. I introduced the topic, right? I told everyone what I was writing about. I was writing about ice cream flavors. I gave both sides. I said some people might not like strawberry ice cream because they might think it's boring because it's just one flavor. Others find its natural flavors to be refreshing. In my opinion, I said I prefer strawberry ice cream. So that's your introductory paragraph. Right? Now I want you guys to look at the structure right here. This is how we're going to be writing our paper. It does say reason 3 on here. We're only going to do 2 reasons. So you do intro, reason, conclusion. And your reason paragraphs are in ice form. So I would introduce my quote. I would say something like, I'm going to make up facts just so you guys know. The majority of people like strawberry ice cream. Then you would quote your site, right? So I did my I, now I got to do my site. And I could say, I'm making this part up, you guys, to icecream.com, 54% of people like strawberry ice cream. This, and then I have to explain it. This tells us that most people enjoy strawberry ice cream. Okay, so then that becomes my site, and I forgot. So that would be my ice paragraph. So we're going to do 2 ice paragraphs, and then we are going to do a conclusion.
So rewrite all of those?
No, you're not writing any of this, Giselle. I was just giving you examples.
Oh.
Okay, we're not writing anything yet. Yes, Nathan, your hand is raised.
I forgot to put it back down.
That's what I was thinking. All right. They also on here, under evidence, they give you an example of an ice paragraph. This one's talking about watermelons, and it says, I think that watermelons are the healthiest fruit for your body. Intro. The article states watermelon can speed up your digestive system and provide your body hydration. Cite. This supports my thinking because not only is watermelon delicious, but it helps your stomach digest other foods. Explain. Okay, and then also on this paper, it gives you a list of transition words that you can use in your paragraphs. So you guys are going to write an opinion piece, and you're going to write it about school uniforms. And you're either going to be pro school uniforms or con school uniforms. Pro means that you want uniforms. Con means you don't want uniforms. So you get to select what you want to write about. You can either select that you want to wear uniforms or that you don't want to wear uniforms. This article is where we're going to get our evidence from for our paper that we're writing. So what I'm going to do right now, you guys, is I'm going to read this to you. And while I'm reading it through, I want you to just think if you want to do pro uniform, meaning that you think schools should wear uniforms, or if you want to do con, you don't think schools should have to wear uniforms. Okay, so just listen. You're not doing anything else but listening to me read this. Okay? The pros and cons of school uniforms. Did you go to a school that required uniforms? Do your kids wear school uniforms now? If you answered yes to either question, you probably have strong feelings about uniform requirements in schools. Even if you don't have a personal connection to uniforms, you might be interested in the topic. If so, check out our guide to the pros and cons of school uniforms. Pro 1, they can break down class barriers between students. Kids wear uniforms, visible class markers between rich kids and poor kids are decreased or eliminated, which may lead to more social mixing along economic lines. So that's saying that like you can't tell which kids might have more money and which kids might have less money because everyone's dressed the same. Pro 2, they can increase student focus. Another argument that's often raised in favor of uniforms is that they may increase student focus. The evidence for this seems to be thin, But many proponents of uniforms argue that when students don't have clothing to notice, comment on, or respond to, they can spend more mental energy on learning. Uniforms, this argument goes, add to a sense of disciplined learning in school. Pro 3. So reason 3 that this article is for uniforms. They can increase the sense of community in a school. Uniforms may also build community in a school as students of all ages and alumni too bond or commiserate over the outfits they all associate with their school days. When the schools that have traditionally required uniforms toy with or think about removing the uniform requirement, it's often the alumni or the people who used to go to the school who speak out in favor of preserving the tradition of school uniforms. Pro 4. School uniforms can promote safety. In areas where students may be gang involved, uniforms can increase safety by preventing students from wearing clothing that declares, intentionally or inadvertently, gang affiliation. Some proponents of school uniforms argue that uniforms can increase student safety in school and outside of school, as well as increasing students' ability to blend in and focus on learning without having to worry that their clothing choice might make them a target. Okay, now we're going to talk about the cons. So these are reasons why they say you shouldn't wear uniforms in school. Okay? They can be expensive for parents. Keeping a child in school uniforms may be more expensive for parents and guardians than buying regular clothes would be. Often, uniforms are only available from a limited number of suppliers, and the lack of competition and captive market keeps prices high. Or a uniform will include pricier items like blazers and dress shoes, which some families might struggle to afford. Con 2. Uniforms limit student self-expression. Another argument made against uniforms is that they limit students' self-expression. Teenagers in particular are famous for needing to express their emotions and their tastes in music, fashion, and art through clothing, hair, and piercings. School can be tough on kids and teens as it is, without taking away one of the few areas where they can exert some control and express themselves, say opponents or people against school uniforms. Uniforms may be sexist. Some uniforms may strike students and parents as sexist. For example, if a uniform requires girls to wear skirts and pants are not allowed, some students and parents may object, leading to conflict with the school administration. Not all girls want to wear skirts, and some may resent being told to wear traditionally feminine garments. Con 4. Uniforms lead to more policing of students. If a school has a uniform policy, it generally tries to enforce that policy by monitoring students' clothing and punishing students for violating uniform requirements. Of course, even schools that don't require uniforms may police students' clothing choices. I'm going to read that sentence again. Of course, even schools that don't require uniforms may police student clothing that's deemed too revealing or offensive, but uniforms may add to the attention focused on student dress. You guys, I can't read today. This can make students feel that they're being scrutinized and punished for their appearance, which could have negative effects on students' self-esteem or attitudes toward the school. And if students are sent home for uniform violations, they will miss valuable learning time. Plus, policing student uniforms takes time and effort on the part of administrators. So they're saying because people have to, right? Every day when you guys would come to school, the teachers would make sure you were in uniform. And then we tell you have to go change if you're out of uniform. So they're saying that that's taking away from your learning time by having to go change. And it makes teachers have to do extra work to make sure you're in uniform. That was what that last one was saying, okay? So bottom line, if back to school shopping in your household involves shopping for a school uniform, you might be familiar with some of the arguments for and against uniforms. By some accounts, school uniforms are becoming more popular in the US, which means more households may find themselves debating the merits of uniforms in the years to come. Okay, we don't have to read the update because that has nothing really to do with the article. So now I want you guys to think for a minute. Do you guys know which one you want to write about? Are you guys for uniforms or against uniforms? Let me know which one you want to do.
I want to do against.
You want to do against uniforms? Perfect. What about you, Giselle?
I think like if people don't have like uniforms, can they take regular clothes?
So do you think what you have to do is pick a side, Giselle, that you want to write about? Do you think kids should have to wear uniforms, or do you think they shouldn't have to wear uniforms?
Well, uniforms cost too much, so
Okay,
parents.
so then you could say you're against uniforms. Do you want to do that one? Perfect. That's just fine. So now this is what we're going to do, you guys. You need a pencil or a pen or a highlighter or something. I'm going to read the article again, and you guys need to highlight one pro, because you are going to have to list one pro, and then I want you to highlight two cons. Pick out, because you guys are picking out your quotes for your articles, okay? So I'm going to read through it again, and this time I want you to underline or highlight the quotes you want to use, okay? Thumbs up if you understand what we're doing. I'm not seeing any thumbs. Are you guys confused? Okay, Nathan. Giselle, I'm going to read the article again, and I want you to highlight one pro and two cons, okay? Let's start at the beginning again. If you don't have a highlighter, just underline them. I'm just going to start with pro one. They can break down class barriers between students. So that's just saying that they get rid of the visible class markers between rich kids and poor kids, are decreased or eliminated, which may lead to more social mixing along economic lines. Pro two, they can increase student focus. Another argument that's often raised in favor of uniforms is that they may increase student focus. The evidence for this seems to be thin, but many proponents of uniforms argue that when students don't have clothing to notice, comment on, or respond to, they can spend more mental energy on learning. Uniforms, this argument goes, add to a sense of disciplined learning in school. Pro three, they can increase the sense of community in a school. Uniforms may also build a community in a school, as students of all ages and alumni too bond or commiserate over the outfits they all associate with their school days. When schools that have traditionally required uniforms toy with removing the uniform requirement, it's often the alumni who speak out in favor of preserving the tradition of school uniforms. Pro four, school uniforms can promote safety. In areas where students may be gang involved, uniforms can increase safety by preventing students from wearing clothing that declares intentionally or inadvertently, so on purpose or by accident, gang affiliation. Some proponents of school uniforms argue that uniforms can increase student safety in school and outside of school, as well as increasing students' ability to blend in and focus on learning without having to worry what their clothing choices might make them a target. Con one, they can be expensive for parents. So you guys need to underline two cons. Remember that. Keeping a child in school uniforms may be more expensive for parents and guardians than buying regular clothes would be. Often, uniforms are only available from a limited number of suppliers, and the lack of competition in captive market keeps prices high. Or a uniform will include pricier items like blazers and dress shoes, which some families might struggle to afford. Con two, uniforms limit student self-expression. Another argument made against uniforms is that they limit student self-expression. Teenagers in particular are famous for needing to express their emotions and their tastes in music, fashion, and art through clothing, hair, and piercings. School can be tough on kids and teens as it is, without taking away one of the few areas where they can exert some control and express themselves, say opponents of school uniforms. Uniforms may be sexist. Some uniforms may strike students and parents as sexist. For example, if a uniform requires girls to wear skirts and pants are not allowed, some students and parents may object, leading to conflict with the school administration. Not all girls want to wear skirts, and some may resent being told to wear traditionally feminine garments. Also, if a student is, con four, uniforms lead to more policing of students. If a school has a uniform policy, it generally tries to enforce that policy by monitoring students' clothing and punishing students for violating uniform requirements. Of course, even schools that don't require uniforms may police student clothing for violating, student clothing that's deemed too revealing or offensive, but uniforms may add to their attention focused on students. This can make students feel that they are being scrutinized and punished for their appearance, which would have negative effects on student self-esteem or attitudes toward the school. And if students are sent home for uniform violations, they will miss valuable learning time. Plus, policing student uniforms takes time and effort on the part of administrators. All right, did you guys get your quotes underlined? Giselle, did you get your quotes underlined? Perfect. Okay, I want you guys to turn to this page in your other packet. It's the second page in. So the first one, it says select your topic. What will you write about? Here, you're either going to write that you're pro uniform or con. So you guys are going to write, I am con uniform. Or against uniforms. Okay, I put it in the type box or chat box. So you need to write against uniforms, con uniforms, something so that you know how you're feeling. Write that in that top box, Giselle. This one right here. Did you write it? You're against uniforms, right, Giselle? So write against uniforms in that top box. That's all you need to write is against uniforms. Give me a thumbs up when you have the select your topic box filled in. Okay, the next says introduction. This is where we're going to introduce your topic. And if you remember back here at the top, I said that you had to give both sides, right? So you're going to start off by saying something like school uniforms are becoming more common in schools. Or you can say a lot of schools are starting to require uniforms. Okay, something like that. Then you got to give, remember I had you guys underline one pro and one con. So you got to list them. So I am pro uniform. So I'm going to list a con first. And I'm going to say, some people say that uniforms can limit students' self-expression. Others, so I
Should I write what I highlighted in the
not yet, Giselle. Let me finish explaining what you have to do and then we'll do that, okay? Okay, so then I'm gonna say something like my pro, right? I'm gonna say others argue they increase the sense of community in the school. Okay, and then I need to state my opinion. And we have a lot of starters right here about how we can state that. I think, I prefer, I need to express my feelings, I feel, I strongly believe. I'm going to write, I strongly believe that schools should have uniforms. Okay? So what I want you guys to write in this box is your introduction. So what are you going to write for that first sentence? I gave you guys a couple choices. I will retype them. I gave you 2 sentences you could pick from to start with. Okay, Giselle? Well, then I spelled uniforms wrong in one of them, so I'm fixing it. So Giselle, you can write, School uniforms are becoming more common in schools, or you can write a lot of schools are starting to require uniforms. Write one of those two sentences on the first line. Nathan, you can write something else if you want to. I'm just giving Giselle options. Give me a thumbs up when you have your first sentence written. Nathan, did you give me a thumbs up? I looked away for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Since you guys are both against uniforms, at this point, your next sentence, you need to list the pro that you highlighted. So you could say some schools think or believe uniforms increase student focus. Hey, Giselle, write the next sentence. Giselle, I typed another sentence into the box. You can write that one. Nathan, you can write the one that you guys highlighted. It needs to be the pro. Giselle, I need you writing, hun. Giselle? Giselle, can you hear me? I wrote another sentence in the box. It's your next sentence. In that same box.
Where it says select your topic.
Nope, we're in introduction still. Let me know when you have that second sentence wrote with a thumbs up.
Hello, my dear.
Hi. Giselle, do you have both sentences wrote? Okay. Nathan, did you get the second sentence wrote?
Yeah.
Okay. The next sentence you write needs to be the con one. So one of the cons that you highlighted. So I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to say, however, school uniforms can be expensive for parents. All right, Giselle, I'm typing the next sentence in the box for you. Nathan, did you get that third sentence wrote?
Yeah.
Perfect. The last thing you're going to write is your opinion. Are you for them or against them? And you're going to use one of these sentence starters, right? I think, I prefer, I support, I need to express my feelings, I feel, I strongly believe. So I'm going to write, I support, actually no, because I'm writing this from Con. I strongly believe that schools should not have uniforms. Okay, so you need to write something like that using one of these must-haves. All right. When you have all 4 sentences written in your introduction box, show it to the camera so I can see it, and then you can get off the call. All right, Giselle, they're all in the chat box for you. You need to give your hand a break for a minute. When you're done, show me in the camera, and then you can get off the call.
I don't know which one are they. It's a lot of them.
All right, so the first sentence you were supposed to write was a lot of schools are starting to require uniforms. Did you write that one? Okay, and then you were supposed to do some schools believe uniforms increase student focus. Did you write that one? Okay.
Can you share your screen with everyone? Because I don't know which
I mean,
one.
I don't have it written on anything else but this, but I'm writing it now in just the whole paragraph. So what I just sent is what you need to write. That bottom one.
Well, I don't know which one is.
The bottom one, the one I just put in. Okay, some schools believe uniforms increase student focus. Did you write that sentence? Giselle, you have plenty of time, so don't stress out. Just write what's in the box, okay? Okay, you guys, I have 2 more minutes and then I have to get off so I can go do carpool. But if you didn't get it done, I'm going to upload this video onto Blooms later tonight and you can finish it, okay? Are you done, Nathan?
No.
Okay, I thought I saw your thumb. You're done? Show me your paper. Perfect. So put that somewhere safe because we're going to finish it up tomorrow, okay? All right, Giselle, you can hop off. Hey, Giselle.